All right. But as we all know from our many signs around the building that maybe say bathroom this way or this way to biography, signs are not the end of merchandising in the building. What's really important to making sure patrons are connected to your collections and services is word of mouth, specifically through the staff. You can see here we have a fabulous sign in our library that's for when we launched Hoopla, which is a new service. We made a special sign. It's very eye-catching. It's very big. But I can tell you from my own experience at the desk that I've had probably 3 times as many conversations about this particular service by mentioning it to somebody who seemed like they might be interested than waiting for them to notice the sign and then asking me a question about it. So this does touch on staffing issues a little bit, and when we developed this webinar, something we talked about is staffing issues around ebooks are an entirely different piece that we won't be talking about too much in this webinar. It probably deserves a webinar or maybe even 3 of its own. But do know that when we're talking about merchandising in the building, we're also talking about making sure your staff has good talking points and phrases, because they're going to have more opportunities to talk about your ebooks and merchandise your ebooks than any sign or display ever will. 2 talking points that work particularly well for us in the library is I learned to use this service on my couch after a glass of wine. Now this might sound crazy, and I know that doesn't work for all services. We can talk about that later when we talk about the tech support. But this is the sort of phrase that's natural. In fact, we didn't develop it as a talking point. It was just honestly something a staff member kept saying and was very effective, so that everybody started saying it. But talking to people in this very natural way. Or in the case of some services that can be tricky, and we all know what they are, or different pieces of it can be tricky, being honest and not making patrons